yet again another video, and this video is like a college advice type of video. And I just wanted to come and basically give you guys some tips and tell you about my college experience and how I went from having a 2.7 GPA in high school to having a 4.0 GPA in college. So when I was in high school, I wouldn't say that I was dumb or that I was like immature or anything. I was very mature and I was very smart. But what I would say is that I didn't really apply myself. And I had a bad attitude. I was very stubborn. So when I was not acknowledged in class for like my accomplishments and stuff, I kind of just like went into this little shell, and I just, like I got frustrated. I like slacked off. Whenever I was in class, I was like chilling, minding my business. Like going to school every day was like the best for me as far as my social life. But as far as my academic life, it was not so great. Like I was just trying to get through high school and I was just so completely over it. Like I just kind of gave up and I was like, I just want my diploma and I want to go. Like seriously. So with that being said, I knew that in college I had to get my life together. Like when I was in middle school and elementary school, I was like the star student. I was never this way until I got to high school. When I got to high school, I just became this whole other person. Like I started doing things that I never did before, like as far as my academic life. And I was just like shocking myself, but I did know that I had to get it together for college because I didn't know what college that I would be going to, but I knew that whatever college I went to, it was gonna have to be paid for. And ain't nobody paying for college for you to freaking slack off. And I knew that I wanted to be a doctor, and I knew that in order to be a doctor, I had to get myself together because I'm like, who wants a doctor that had a freaking 2.7? Like, somebody with a 2.7 delivering your babies? Because they're not delivering mine. But anyways, so I knew I had to get my life together, and when I was in high school, I wasn't really focused on college. I was just like, when the time comes, it'll come, and that'll be that. Like, I'm not worrying about it right now. So I wasn't really like into the whole going on college tours and touring campuses and yada yada yada. I didn't even really look much into colleges. I just knew that I wanted to go away. So I first started by wanting to stay home. I wanted to stay home, I wanted to work, and I wanted to do this, that, the third. But then I established that going away was the best decision for me. But I wanted to be away somewhere where I had family and people close to me. So I decided to come to Florida. And my aunt had texted me a bunch of schools that were in Florida, and Bethune-Cookman University stood out to me. So bam, Bethune-Cookman University became my #1 top choice. And I ended up getting accepted. Into the university like within days after me applying. And I feel like the reason behind that is not because of my GPA, but because I did have a pretty good SAT score and I am a very good writer. I had a bomb.com essay, so they probably were like, how does this even match up with the person whose GPA we're seeing right now? Like it just did not go together. But I guess they saw potential in me, and here I am at my #1 choice for colleges. And I completely like made a 360. Like I came to college and I was like, I'm going to get it together. Like I'm going to have a perfect GPA. I didn't even know like what it took to have a 4.0 GPA, but I was like, I'm gonna get it. Like it is what it is. It's gonna happen. Like so I came to college and I completely like changed my mindset. I would say that's like really the real big tip, to just change your mindset and change how you look at things. Like I looked at this like this is the rest of my life. If I go through college slacking, I'm gonna be slacking for the rest of my life because this is my stepping stone from childhood to adulthood. So if I'm acting like this, I'm gonna be acting this way forever. Like I need to get it together. So I came to college and I completely changed myself. Like I didn't know anybody here. The first person that I met was my roommate. So I'm like, okay, I can turn my life around. They'll never know like who I was before as far as my academic career. But I came to college and I honestly, you guys, I would say tip #1 is just go to class. Going to class is the first way you'll be graded. Even though attendance won't be accounted for in every class's grade, because some teachers do put it into your overall grade, but some teachers don't. that's the first way for a teacher to know that you're dedicated. Because it's been plenty of times where I've had to miss class, and it wasn't often. I would say per semester, I probably missed every class one time at max. So I would not miss class 3 times or 2 to 3 times. I allowed myself to miss class one time per class. So whenever I chose that one day, that was that one day, and that was all I was getting, because my attendance was very important. I would go to class after I didn't come to the last class, and my teacher would be like, oh yeah, because on last class we said such and such, right? And I'd be like, I wasn't here. And they'd be like, what, you weren't? Because they're so used to seeing me in class. They know that I'm dedicated. So they hope I was an accountable person, because I showed up to class every day. I showed up early, and I showed up ready to learn and ready to interact and ready to apply myself to my education. So with that being said, the next tip is to just do homework. Do your assignments all the time, because that's another way for you to maintain a perfect GPA. Like, obviously, some assignments may be strenuous, may be hard, but the little easy ones, just get them out the way. Put it on your schedule. Don't forget to do assignments, because once you start forgetting, it's just like a downward spiral. So, like I said, like with coming to class early and every day, you're an accountable person. They can count on you to be there, to do your work, and to be respectful. So when you do your work all the time, that one time that you miss an assignment and you say, hey, Mr., Miss, Doctor, Professor, whatever, I forgot that we had an assignment due. They will say, oh, okay, well, you're in class every day. You always do your work. Here's a new one. You go home, do it, bring it back next class. Boom, bada bam. Your teachers trust you. They trust you to get your work done, because you're always here. You're always ready to learn. You're always ready, you know? So the next tip that I'm going to give is to make a schedule. Now, I know a lot of people is going to be like, making schedules is so annoying. But when I tell you, I never found it important to make a schedule until I got to college. Like, literally. I would have freaking Post-its all around my desk of assignments that I had to do, because I need to see stuff to remember that I had to get it done. It's been a few semesters where I had 8 to 9 classes, so I was like, who gonna remember all these classes? Like, and I had like online classes and stuff. I used to forget about my online classes until the day before. And now that I'm saying that, I freaking got an assignment due tomorrow for my online class, and I just remember it simply by me saying that. But I probably wouldn't remember it still, because I have it on my agenda to do, and that is due tomorrow. So I would definitely suggest getting like a planner or something, because it just relieves you a little bit, you know? Looking at the planner, doing assignments, crossing them out. That's like the biggest satisfaction in the world to me. Doing an assignment and being able to cross it off your list. That's one less thing you have to do. That feels so good to me. So what I used to do is I used to put the Post-its all around my desk. I used to have one big sheet of paper where I'd write down all my assignments for the week, and I would cross them off every week. I would start off with a new piece of paper. And I didn't do this because I wanted to stay organized, but I did it because it was so many things going on in my mind, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need it out now. Like, it drives me insane. So I started making schedules, and here I am. Like a few weeks ago, I would say maybe 4 weeks ago, I went and I bought a planner, and people made fun of me. They were like, you ain't gonna use no planner. I used that planner up so bad. I'm actually about to go get my planner and show you guys. So I had went to Books A Million, and they were having like this sale or whatever on the planners, and it was like $4. So I was like, shoot, let me get a planner, because I've been wanting to use planners, and I just haven't started. So this is when I first got my planner. Oh, I hope you guys can see. So I had wrote down all the stuff that I had to do. Look at that. I'm highlighting all the stuff off, taking all the stuff off. And if I didn't do stuff, I would just swap it with the next day, and I would do it. Look at all of this stuff that I had written down. All of this, everything, all of this. Look at this. This is like the busiest week of my life. Vacation. I have stickers to put on for my vacations, everything. Literally have my entire schedule planned out. Yes. Get you a planner because it does work. Like, it legit works. Another thing is that you do have to keep up with your grades. Like, check your grades consistently. Make sure that teachers are putting in the grades right, because they will try to, sometimes they, okay, let me not say they try to be slick. Sometimes they genuinely make mistakes because they have so many students, like so many students. I remember one time my professor, he gave feedback on my paper and I was like, hold up, excuse me? And I went on Wildcat Web to check the paper because the email that I got from the feedback was just not matching my paper. I'm like, excuse me, I didn't write a paper like this. And I go and I check, and the paper that he had attached was somebody completely different, somebody I never even heard of before. So I emailed him and let him know, hey, that is not my paper that you attached onto my file. Like, and he was like, oh my God, you know, like, I apologize, yada, yada, yada. So it's very important to keep up with your grades and make sure you update it and everything. When your teachers update your grades, you go and see those updates, check on them. And of course, the last thing I'm going to say is to study. Study, 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 study. Now, I'm not going to promote studying OD. That's why I made it the last thing that I said, because I do not study. But to my defense, I wouldn't say I have a photographic memory, but I am a student where I go in class, and once I hear something for the first time, I write it down. That's how I retain information. So I don't have to go back and look at it frequently. If there's a small thing that I don't remember, I will be like, oh, let me go check my notes. But I can go back and I can read my notes one good time, and I will be good. I will remember it forever. And sometimes I'm even just sitting in class and I remember stuff forever. Like, when I learn it, it stays there forever. But you gotta know your learning style, know what kind of student you are, because every teacher is not gonna teach in your learning style. So some teachers will lecture. If you're not a student that learns from lecturing, you need to take a lot of notes, go back to your room and teach yourself the way that you learn it. Study it so that you will retain the information. Get a study partner, get a study group, get somebody. And I'm sure they have like peer tutors. Sorry, I'm looking at this guy park and he legit like just hit the car behind him, and it's like mad room, so I don't understand how he even hit him or why he hit him. And cannot park. People in Florida cannot parallel park. And honestly, I feel like they should put that on a driving test, because what happens when you're in a place where you have to parallel park and it wasn't on your freaking road test, so you don't know how? Like, but anyways, like I was saying, get a study group. Oh, no, I was saying that most campuses have peer tutors. Go get a peer tutor. Don't be afraid to say that you need help, because when you're deep into a class and you don't know the stuff that you learned on the first day, you got a situation. Like, you have a situation. Sometimes you just have to admit that you don't know it and you need help. There's nothing wrong with needing help. Most times people will be willing to help you. This YouTube video is about everything nowadays. You might be able to learn something on YouTube about your classes. Like, literally, just, you know, apply yourself. Study, study, study. Like, get the education that you're paying for. Don't pay for no education and not take advantage of it, because then you look dumb. You look dumb and you're wasting your money. You might as well drop out if you're not applying yourself. If you're not applying yourself, that's practically dropping out mentally. Like, so just apply yourself. Know what type of student you are and get the work done. And I don't want to say like this is just to get a 4.0, because obviously everybody is not going to get a 4.0, but I do want to say this is how I maintain having a 4.0 for my first 2 years of college, and this is how hopefully I will continue to maintain a 4.0, or at least close to it. But this is how, these are ways that you can build a better GPA and build a higher GPA. I literally came from a 2.7. So trust me, I know it's hard at times. But you just gotta apply yourself, and you gotta be in it to win it. If you're not dedicated, if you're not passionate about it, then it's literally no use. Like, if you're not passionate about something, you're not gonna put the time and effort into it that it requires. So just be passionate about it. Like, make school fun. College is hard sometimes, but make it fun. Make it for you. Make it something that you enjoy. It's your experience, not theirs. So I'm ripping and raving right now because I just want to let you guys know, like, college is hard, and sometimes you need somebody to give you a little pat on the back when you're doing good. So here's the pat on the back for you guys that's in college and that's doing good. You're welcome. So this is the conclusion of my video, you guys. I know I went in. But if you like this video and you want to see more college advice videos, let me know. And let me know some things that you guys want to know, like about my school or college in general, or about HBCUs down in the comment section down below. And I will try to make a video about it. And if you like this video, subscribe, comment, share with your friends, share with your brother, sister, cousin, uncle, auntie, grandma, and grandfather. And thanks for watching. Bye.